Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Man, I feel like it's been such a long time since I've done this, but I forgot I was traveling. So happy Wednesday. I hope your Wednesday is going great. And I hope your week has been going great thus far. I am back at it. We're back in the groove. And so everybody knows when you get on here, you have to invite and share because sharing is what? It's caring. And so I'm going to do the same thing as well. I am going to find myself and invite and share. And I hope that you do the same as you are joining in this broadcast. Yay! So I'm inviting and sharing, and I really appreciate if you would do the same as well. And if you're coming in, give me some hearts doing hashtag shared. Let me know that you have shared it and that you are ready for the information for tonight. Hey Dana, hey girl. So invite and share as I am doing the same. And I am excited to get back to it. Even though I'm still a little tired from travel, jet lag. Does anybody have that problem? That is, for those who really travel all the time, I give you props. Going through security, all that, especially if it's international, you're just like, please get me off of this plane. So, yes, please invite and share, and we're going to get right into it. So, hey, Auntie. All right, you guys. So, what I decided to talk about, every Wednesday is Ask Melissa Wednesday. And we missed it last week because of travel. And I think the week before, no, I did the week before. It was just last week. So we only missed 1 week. So not horrible. So, what we're going to talk about is how to capitalize around major events that are happening and how to capitalize on that without breaking the bank. What does that mean, Melissa? I'm not sure what you're talking about. So capitalize is basically, let's use Essence Fest. Boy, it's been a minute. For example, so for those who did attend, you may be able to kind of see this. A lot of people hosted events and like, oh, meet me down at the Essence Festival and this is the hotel or whatnot. There were a lot of events that happened that were not officially a part of Essence Festival. When you're like, well, how could that be? There's really no legality against it. You can say, hey, I am doing an event. We're going to be at the Essence Festival, not featured by. And so, you use your play of words. There's really no legalities against that. So you just have to make sure you're careful with your wording, of course. And so I think I knew about 3 or 4 folks that had like panels or had workshops, something that still stayed into Essence Festival. So there's like 3 different types of people that come down for the festival. You have your people who are like, I've never been to New Orleans, I'm partying. Hey, Lucinda, how are you? And then you have your entrepreneurs who are like, I'm about business. I want to grow. I want to meet other entrepreneurs. Then you have your people who are just, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle and want to find a husband. And so those are 3 different type of target audience, which is great, right? So if you're like a relationship coach, that might be a great little onset of event for you, where you could be at a coffee shop. It's like a coffee and tea or tea and coffee. And thank you, girl. And you're just, that's like that relationship vibe. And it gives you that, girl, let me get the tea, or boy, and how do I do this? And know the in and outs about relationships and how to really get that going, right? And so that's a kind of cool thing for that type of crowd. Then for your entrepreneurs, you always have some type of workshop that's about branding and building and how to grow and all of that. And so these are different ideas when it comes to capitalizing on events. So think about what your target audience is. If there was going to be a conference about event planning, let's say in like Phoenix, Arizona, something that I could do is, building a brand of event planning for celebrity styles. Like that might be a workshop of, are you an event planner? Do you want to start reaching your celebrity style client? I can host a workshop about that. I'm kind of biting off a little bit off of the workshop, but you can say, hey, see me this weekend at the event planning in Phoenix, Arizona. So that is a great idea to do, right? So if you are a hairstylist, I think in Atlanta, they have like a big hairstyle event or hair show event. Like that is something where you can have a small, intimate event off of. So how do you do that? So your first thing is you're going to find a place. This is, again, you're on a budget. So you want it to be small, a coffee shop. If you're a hairstylist, partnering with a hair salon or one of those those quick little shops that have like all of your essentials, but there's really not a hairstylist that stays there. I think of like WeWorkspace, but I know they have them for like hairstylists. So that's something right there. Or partnering, because my number 2 is going to be about collaborating. So finding those type of shops there, right? And then you're collaborating, you're hosting that event. It's going to be about how to cut a bob in 2 minutes, whatever for hairstylists do, right? So that is small. You want your venue price to be so significant so that you can maximize on your profit. That is key, because if you're blowing your budget on your venue, forget about it. This is not going to be it. Remember, you're trying to capture a big audience with a small price. That is the key. So again, let's say if you are an author, right, and there might be a big conference about books or authors or English, something about that literature, you want to host something, a coffee shop is perfect for you. Coffee and books, tea and books, something like that, something cutesy, finding a small venue, a coffee shop, most likely you can try Starbucks if you like, whichever, or even a local mom and pop shop that does coffee. That's probably even better because they're local to the community. And so teaming up with them and saying, hey, can I have this space? I'm bringing people to you. They're purchasing the coffee. Then you could probably get this space for free. You want to have this so exclusive. So you don't want to say, I'm having 50 people at your coffee shop. Make this realistic. Have no more than 20. For my first 20 folks or for my first 15, you want to be very exclusive, because we all know for some reason we're so tied up on that word exclusive. Like, oh, I got a ticket. Did you? Think of like the Beyonce concert. Oh, did you have Visa? Did you have MasterCard? Oh, if you did it, you couldn't get your tickets for the first round, right? So you feel like, oh, I'm in there. So make it very exclusive for your target audience. That way they're getting tickets right off the bat. There's no questions about it, right? So that's for the venue. The second thing is collaborating. I highly recommend this, especially if you're in a city that you're unaware of. If that's not your domain, that's not your territory. Collaborating with somebody else. So you are splitting the pot, and which is fine, because it's about branding yourself and also bringing in a little bit of income. This is not your payday. This is not your payday event. This is about expanding your horizons for your brand. So you want to collaborate with somebody. Again, like for the hairstylist, maybe a hair salon, nail stylist, if they have their little pop-up shop in doing that. Collaborating with somebody is great because you're now able to hit 2 audiences for you guys as well, but still being around that conference style or whatnot that is going on. Okay. And then the third one is offer something discounted. If you want to offer something free, that is fine. But I'm going to say discounted because I still want a little coinage in your pocket. So offer something discounted. For me, again, we're at Phoenix and they're having this event planning conference, then it would be like, I'm going to offer 50% off of my consulting fee for your first event, for the first 10 people. Again, exclusivity is the key. If you're only offering for 5 people, I want to be a part of that 5. I don't care who else it is. I need to be a part of the 5. And that gets that jump of ticket sales. No matter how many people have signed up, make sure you have your exclusivity, because that's what draws people in. And again, we're so impressionable. I'm not sure why, but that's just how the human nature is, I guess, that we like to be a part of that exclusive team. And I mean, it is special when you're a part of that and you're a part of that number, and you're able to really be in that close niche thing. I mean, everybody wants to be a part of Oprah's network, but she's only choosing a few, which is important because you need to have the best of the best. So people who are really serious will really bite. You're not trying to sit here and drag people to get things from you, because those are not the people that's really going to be the investment. You want those who are like, hands down, I'm getting a ticket, I'm in there. So if you came on a bit late, do hashtag replay. But this is Ask Melissa, so I do want to open up time to give those people who have questions about what we just spoke about. So we're speaking about how to capitalize on around a major event. Oh, a perfect one that just popped up because somebody reminded me of it. New York Fashion Week. So if you're a designer, and oh man, I wish I remember this guy's name. I met him too in New York. He was not a part of Fashion New York Week, but guess what? He made his way a part of Fashion New York Week. He rented a U-Haul truck, or I guess an unknown truck, and literally had the models pop out of the truck and walk down, I think it was Fish Street in New York, but it was definitely Times Square. And he had his own fashion show, blocked off traffic, and had his own fashion show in the middle of Times Square. He basically said, hey, be there or be square. And he had his fashion show, and he's a designer. And did he not get phone calls? Of course he did. And so now he's able to have that leverage of being that unique, different type of brand. So though you are not officially part of Essence Fest, or if you are on the hair expo, New York Fashion Week, you can create your own events. Like for New York Fashion Week, if you're a model, I would host like how to set up your profile for your go see. And, I would do something like that at a small venue, something very chic and cute, small little appetizers. Again, you're not paying for the appetizers. You're trying to find a venue that's willing to collaborate with you, and they're your sponsor. Okay. So if I'm just going to use like Ruth Chris, and they're my sponsor, you guys are buying the food, but you're paying to be in the presence of me and my other panelists that I'm having to learn all of this stuff, right? So that's the purpose of having the venue, but they're your sponsor because they are allowing you to use that space for free, in the bargain of that I at least have 20 people that's going to buy a plate. That's profit because you're bringing people to them. So that is a couple of things that I'm throwing out about how to capitalize on major events for your target audience. So you might be different. You might have some other ideas about capitalizing. I would definitely love to hear about that. So if you're still on or you're watching the replay, I definitely do answer replays. I love getting people's reactions. So please definitely put hashtag Ask Melissa, hashtag replay, ask your question about how to capitalize on these major events and what does that mean for you. Somebody else I just saw on Fashion Bloggers, there is an event, I think it's in Florida or Miami, and I may say the name wrong too, I can't remember, but they have some major event. You have to look for what's in your field, in your target audience major event, and you're just hosting something, even if it's like you're going to be doing a launch. If I'm going to do a launch of my blog and I'm going to do it live, do a Facebook Live, that's an event. $2 entry fee, $3, whichever. Even if you're offering it for free, but when you get there, there's products and services to purchase. That is another way to do it as well. If you're able to get everything free, your venue is free, and getting all that stuff free, then maybe you want to offer it free, but you have products to sell, then that's your buy-in as well. Because most likely people are going to get some food, they're going to get drinks, and they'll be like, oh, I'll buy this book or I'll buy this product, especially after the panel goes. The things to remember: panels, workshop feel, but not workshop like school workshop, more interactive workshop, things that people can take away, and not having your event too long. Something that's about like an hour, 2 hours, because remember, there's so many other events like Essence Fest. There's so many other events going on. They're going to still want to go to those big events that are actually a part of the festival, right? So you want to make sure your event is not too long, not too short either. But I think an hour and hour and a half, 2 is a good enough time for those late folks that come in, but folks who are there and they're still able to participate and then really get your buy-in. So that is definitely another good idea for that. And I know one perfect person who did that. Lucinda teamed up with somebody as well at Essence Fence to do that. And they had a very beautiful, successful event. And people are like, oh, are you guys going to be back again? And they weren't even a part of it. So that is one amazing thing as well that you can do. Again, it's not that hard. It really isn't. Something is coming up in DC, Black Alumni or NAACP, something. Somebody may remember what it is, but that's really entrepreneurs, right? And so that's where you can, and DC has lots of rooftops. It's still warm out. We can do a rooftop situation and teaming up with somebody in the district that has small mom and pop shops that you're able to pull this off, because we know the district can be expensive. However, you can make this pop, and collaborating with other folks as well is definitely key. Definitely key. So again, folks, I'm not here to talk your head off. I'm giving a little information, but I want you guys to ask me your questions, anything that I just spoke about, anything about events. Anything about events. You have an event coming up. Does anybody have an event coming up, attending an event, thought about hosting an event, a conference, a workshop, anything like that? I give this opportunity for you to ask your questions. And like, Melissa, I don't really know what to do with this. I'm here for that. Hey, Sandra, thank you for joining. Thank you guys for joining, and all the hearts and the thumbs up. I totally appreciate that. I'm just reading to see if anybody asked a question. Okay. Hey, girl. Hey, Dominic. Hey, Regine. Hey, Zena, Adrian, and Brittany. Thank you guys so much for joining. And Christine. Hey, girl. Hey. Thank you for joining. So I'm just going to recap. So 1, you're finding a small venue. Exclusivity is the key. No more than like 20, 25 folks. Like, really, that's truly your cap. I don't care if the venue can hold more. You want to do a small cap, because again, it's not about all can come. It's all who is willing to come and pay the money right on spot. Because you only have 10 spots or you only have 20 spots. And once the 20 spots are filled, that's it. It's closed down. I'm not doing a Facebook Live. We're not having no Facebook Live feed. Nothing. You cannot get this information unless you're in the space. So that's what you're selling. And that already brings up the ante of like, I have to be in that number. I don't care what it takes, but I need to be in that number, right? The second thing is collaborating. And so collaborating with somebody who's local to that area, somebody who is probably, I'm not going to say like-minded, but has similar goals. Let's say, your event planner and then a marketing, that goes together, right? And so if you're a hairstylist, maybe it's a hairstylist and barber, and you're coming about the fashion world of hair and the different techniques of hair and all of that stuff. Those two are that's like a marriage, I kind of say. So finding somebody who is like-minded in your field to collaborate with, so you can do a panel, you can do like a workshop. Again, nothing more than an hour and a half, 2 hours is your max. This is quick and simple. You're not trying to put too much work into it, but the event is very impactful and very knowledgeable base, right? And then the third thing is offering either a free product or a discounted service. So if you're a hairstylist, you're going to get 30% off your next, I don't know, shampoo and blowout, whichever. For event planning, I would offer like 50% off of my event planning consulting fee, whichever. So whatever product you have or service you have, you might have a product that you might be giving like 20% off of your product, and that's cool. So you're trying to find something where it's little work as possible, but you're maximizing your network, because it's not only about growing your coins at the same time. This is really about growing your network, because the more visible you are, the more knowledgeable people are about you, the more referrals you get for you. You're saying, I can't remember what I just said, but I'm going to try to say it again. The more, so the more visible you are is growing your network. The more people that know about you and more knowledge about you, that's the more referrals you get. And that's building your coinage, I call it. That's building your bank. Because for example, I do weddings, right? And so I say weddings are not my most weddings are not my most money-making activities, I'm going to call it, because most people do hope, you get married one time. That's it. You might return for your baby shower, but most likely a lot of family and friends like to plan it. It's very few that come back and say, can you do my baby shower for me? And you were my bride. And then after that, maybe a first birthday, fifth birthday party. But sometimes a lot of people like to do that themselves. It really just depends on their budget. So I call that, my one and done. I did their wedding. Now the referrals from that, if their friends are getting married within like in a year or two, they'll remember. Some people are not getting married until like 3-5 years after that. And they're like, oh, that wedding that they just left with that I was the one doing it. They're not really going to remember like, oh yeah, who was so-and-so's planner? Let me contact her. That's kind of the, 5-year stretch is kind of a big deal. If they still did remember me, then I'm pretty awesome. That's great. But most likely they're not thinking of their friend's wedding 5 years ago. They're thinking of their friend's wedding 1 year ago, right? And so that's not my lucrative income. So I call those my one and dones. This is not your one and done type of event that I'm trying to get you guys to understand. This is your seed event, because you're growing. You're going to be watering it, and it's going to be sprouting, because this is maximizing your network so that later on it's lucrative for you. That's the key of doing these major events around major. Hey, Julia, how are you? So that's truly the key, right? So if you guys have any questions for me, I'm going to stop talking and give you guys time to type your questions. If you have any questions, if you're like, this is great information, put #great, let me know. And let's see. So, okay, hey girl, I see you're doing great things. Awesome advice. Trying to open up a hookah lounge in Atlanta next year and trying to find ways and ideas to put it out there to sell it to people, or like a soft opening and advice is on point and oh, thank you. I'm glad I'm giving you good ideas. A hookah lounge in Atlanta. Okay. I don't know anything about hookah, but that is a interesting idea. And again, that's not my realm, so I'm not sure how that works in Atlanta, nor am I from Atlanta. But so let's see what you can do. I mean, are you going to be doing it like next to a nightclub? Or is going to be, well, you're saying a hookah lounge, so I'm guessing there's going to be music. There's going to be drinks as well. When I hear a lounge, I hear drinks. And it seems like this is about to be an experience with the hookah. And I may not be saying that right, so don't judge me, you guys. Hey, how are you? So Dominic, let me know, are you going to have drinks there? Like, is this going to be a bar situation, or is it just going to be a lounge and all you have is the hookah? because then that kind of gives a different experience for me to kind of advise you in the right way. But that is good. I don't know anything about that field, but it's still a business and it's still an opening, and so you can really play this off well, because I know a lot of people who do hookahs and like to do that, though I have no idea about it. Okay, so as Dominic might be writing his question, anybody else have a question or have some ideas for him? Because that lounge, that's a big area, especially in Atlanta. What part of Atlanta? Did you already purchase? I'm getting all in your business now. You said trying to open, so. All right, so I'm hoping you're still on so you can give us the tea. Give us the tea so we can help you out. But that's good. I'm glad to see that you're expounding and wanting to open up your own business. That's the biggest thing, the totally biggest thing. All right, anybody else has questions, comments, ideas? And if you're joining in late, I know I'm so sorry you have to watch the replay, but put #replay, and then invite and share. Invite and share for those who might be having some type of event, thinking of doing an event next year. And so this gives them some inspiration. You can do it. You can do it. And as I'm thinking about it, I think the Classic happens in Atlanta for like the HBCUs, Dominic. So that might be a great like soft opening to do, or to make sure it's around that time, or have a special for folks coming in, because if I can remember correctly, like Battle of the Bands or like the Classic, I don't know, my husband talks about bands all the time in HBCUs. So that might be, if you are like in the heart of Atlanta, I'm not sure what part of Atlanta you're talking about, and I know Atlanta's huge, but that's still another area for you to reach into. You're doing like a soft opening, special discounts for those folks, but you could say like the place to be around Classic weekend. So that is a perfect thing. Atlanta has a lot of big events. So think about events that are coming around, especially since you are a brick and mortar, what they call it, like you're going to actually have a space that's always yours. Now you're just talking about marketing and street marketing to get your name out there for people to come, and special nights, and having special guests attending as well. That is the key for you. You need special guests attending, either performances or just attending guest appearances. I don't know too much about that whole lounge business, but that is one thing that you can start looking into for your soft openings. I hope that does help you. But if you do come back on and give us some of the tea about exactly what your lounge is going to offer, then we could definitely help you out there. All right, you guys, I've been almost on for 30 minutes. I'm trying to stay true to my time and my family since I just got back into the country last night. So if you have any other questions, feel free, if you're watching the replay, to put them in the comments. I will definitely answer them. Just put #replay and then put your comment so I can make sure I catch it, or my team catches it to answer it, okay? And I hope you guys have successful events. I am so excited to hear about the information that I've given you, how that helps you as well in your business. And please let me know. I love to hear about it. The biggest thing that people don't realize, I'm not all about, trust me, I love my coinage now. But what really warms my heart is when I hear that I have helped other people in their success. That makes me feel so successful. Like money can't buy that. And so please make sure you caught me right before I go. Okay. We're trying to get drinks, but liquor license, yes. Liquor license is expensive. But we'll have music, not really a club feel, somewhere to chill, because next to a nightclub is more expensive. Yes, it is. it will drive up the cost of rent. So I was gearing more towards the college students. See, I was right on point on that one, because they're more of the crowd that goes to hookah lounges, somewhere where they can chill, free Wi-Fi, and like a Saturday night host open mic. Okay, so you're going down the right path. I was thinking college students for you too. And I'm guessing you're in the heart of Atlanta. Yes, nightclub, liquor license, that's a whole nother spiel. But do offer some type of, I guess, soft drinks in a sense, hopefully. Open mics are good. Now, Dominic, you are now in the space. See, this is, I hope people are really, really paying attention. I'm not sure where you get this space, but it sounds like 2019. Now you have the capacity to host events where people now can come to you to host their event at your lounge. And you're welcome. For somebody who is listening and need a space in Atlanta that might be, I'm not sure if they're in that hookah field or whatnot, or even in that space, but depending on how large your space is, during the day, maybe you're able to have renting space out for entrepreneurs, and at night, you have your income coming in from the college folks with the free Wi-Fi. Don't just put it to, or even the college folks, they may have off-campus events, sororities, fraternities. Hello, I'm in one. We were always looking for spaces off campus to host events. You have 3 major colleges around you. And so that is definitely a plug. But you could definitely start opening this as an event space. And you don't have to worry about that the licensed caterer if you have that in your language for your contract. So you're now responsible if anybody gets sick and all that stuff. Definitely consult a lawyer on that one, because I don't give legal advice, nor am I a lawyer, but I know there's some legalities in there. So make sure you definitely hit up a lawyer to talk about that language about food, that if somebody gets sick, they're not suing you, they're suing the person who brought the food, whichever, but you're not reliable. Yes, I'm glad this, great. I'm telling you, there are people who are always asking for event space, and it looks like you might have event space coming up in Atlanta. So I'll definitely give that, depending on what the space looks like, then I could definitely help, put some referrals your way. Yes, Julia. Free. It's all free, and people stayed on. So it's great. I'm glad you guys are getting this. So before I give way out too much, and my coach is like, what did you just do? But again, I love to give advice like this because I love to see people successful. You could definitely reach me, Melissa Jakes, on Facebook, melissajakes.com. You can send me an email at hello@melissajakes.com, or just DM me. I pay attention to that a lot. So if you're interested of like event consulting, you have an idea, you're thinking of an event, and you're unsure if you actually need an event planner, but you just need to process through, send me a message. We have September is totally full. October is basically full. So I have space for November and December, and then I'm taking 2019. So September and October, please, no. Sorry, I can't take any more. So November, December, I do have space on my calendar to do some consulting work on events that you're planning for next year. So definitely send me a message. I'm probably only going to take about 5, and that's not even pulling your leg. Like, I'm truly only taking about 5. So because I have a lot of other projects coming out. But thank you guys so much for staying on this long. Again, my name is Melissa Jakes. I am CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, and I am the Olivia Pope of live events. See you guys later. Bye.